Shedeur's making progress in practice, so we're going to continue to work with both of these guys. So as you can see, basically, Kevin Stefanski is kind of in a situation here.
4 weeks, the staff is going to tell him, Shedeur's not ready, Shedeur's not ready. My guess is they go 0-4, maybe they go 1-3.
Bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, there is just so much content, so much debate, so much vitriol.
The battle for Shedeur Sanders' future in Cleveland has reached its breaking point. Kevin Stefanski's relentless efforts to push Sanders out of the city have been met with a stunning response from Jimmy Haslam. After weeks of whispers, tension, and uncertainty, Haslam has stepped in to end the chaos once and for all. The drama surrounding Sanders' future is finally over, and Haslam has made it clear. Shedeur stays. But what does this mean for Stefanski's job? What's next for the Browns? The stakes have never been higher, and the repercussions of this move will be felt for years to come.
No. I mean, with a young quarterback with Dylan starting, you want to make sure he gets a lot of the reps.
The entire debate erupted after Kevin Stefanski's comments in a recent press conference, where he made it crystal clear that he had no intention of involving Shedeur Sanders with the first team. Stefanski compared the situation to when Joe Flacco was the starter, emphasizing that Sanders, despite being the second-string quarterback, wouldn't even be given reps with the first team. Dylan's spot, already fragile, meant that one injury could force Shedeur into action. Yet, Stefanski's refusal to even consider him spoke volumes. This wasn't just about football. It was about Stefanski making it clear he wanted Shedeur gone. Tony Grossi confirmed the growing concern, speaking out about Shedeur Sanders' future with the team. He hinted that the young quarterback was clearly not part of Kevin Stefanski's plans moving forward. According to Grossi, Stefanski didn't view Sanders as a reliable option and had no intention of giving him a chance to prove himself. This only added fuel to the fire, signaling that Shedeur's time in Cleveland was likely coming to an end. With no role in the current system, it raised serious questions about what the future held for Sanders' career.
Tony, if the decision was Kevin Stefanski's, Shedeur Sanders would be traded at the deadline. True or false?
Okay, there you go. Right, it is a good question. I would say true. Under the lasso of truth, I would say true.
As the situation unfolded, the Browns found themselves under increasing scrutiny, with fans and analysts alike questioning Stefanski's decision to push Shedeur Sanders out. Stefanski faced mounting criticism for sticking with Dylan as the sole quarterback taking reps with the first team. What raised even more eyebrows was his decision to move on from two experienced quarterbacks, leaving a rookie as the backup. Despite the looming risk of Dylan getting injured, Stefanski remained steadfast in his refusal to give Shedeur any real opportunity. This only seemed to validate Tony Grossi's belief that a trade for Sanders might be unavoidable.
I thought it got weirder when you let go of the first two guys. Well, you traded the first two guys that you had. All right, but giving Dylan Gabriel the first team reps, really? We're just looking for reasons.
The backlash against Stefanski's decision to push Shedeur Sanders out was swift and intense, with critics piling on, including former NFL star Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Ochocinco didn't hold back, calling Stefanski's approach nonsense. He argued that Stefanski should adopt the same strategy he used when Dylan Gabriel was the backup behind Joe Flacco, suggesting that Shedeur deserves at least some reps with the first team. According to Ochocinco, the situation should have been handled similarly to past scenarios, emphasizing that giving Sanders a fair shot was the logical approach.
Hell nah, you know that ain't normal protocol. You should be doing the same exact thing you were doing with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Now, if Dylan Gabriel is starting, you should be doing the same thing you were doing with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco with goddamn Shedeur.
As the situation hit a boiling point, Browns quarterback coach Bill Musgrave was forced to step in and publicly state that Dylan Gabriel was the better quarterback over Shedeur Sanders. When questioned about Stefanski's decision to have Dylan take all the first-team reps, Musgrave didn't hold back. He firmly stated that Shedeur Sanders was more than prepared to handle any challenge, whether it was facing the first-team defense or playing with the second team. Musgrave emphasized that Shedeur's attitude and progress had already shown he was capable of competing at the highest level.
He's working hard, and really learning by the day, by the week. He's doing a nice job of getting the most out of each and every day and feeling more comfortable with the system. Well, I think as quarterbacks, we don't count the plays, we make the plays count. Whatever plays we get, we are thankful for them, and we just make them count, whether they're against the first-string defense or Baldwin Wallace JVs. Every scrap we get as QBs, we're going to get the most out of, and that's...
Despite the ongoing tension, things took a turn when Jimmy Haslam stepped in to clear the air. He made it clear that the Browns would not be trading Shedeur Sanders under any circumstances. Reports soon surfaced that Haslam had a direct conversation with Stefanski, where he stressed that 3 games were not enough to definitively declare Dillon Gabriel as the starting quarterback. Haslam went further, insisting that Shedeur should remain with the team, noting the progress he's shown. In essence, Haslam wasn't ready to part ways with Sanders, making it known that he wasn't buying into the narrative that Shedeur wasn't ready to contribute. Mary Kay Cabot, who has been closely monitoring Shedeur Sanders' development, is firmly against the excuses being made by Stefanski and Musgrave. She believes Sanders is clearly the better choice over Dillon Gabriel. After observing him throughout training, Cabot is convinced that it's time for Sanders to be named the starting quarterback. She points to Sanders' exceptional accuracy, a skill that stands out among the entire roster. Furthermore, his ability to make precise throws from various angles, aided by his versatile arm motion, sets him apart from the competition. It's clear to her that Sanders is ready to take on the starting role.
We don't get to watch very much of practice anymore, but in the short, little brief period that I do get to watch him throw, he is throwing to the practice squad guys and the backup receivers in the early part of practice. We can see it, and his elite accuracy is always on display.
Mary Kay Cabot didn't mince words, confidently asserting that Dillon Gabriel simply can't compete with Shedeur Sanders. After watching Sanders closely, especially his efficiency with the ball, Cabot is certain that in any 7-on-7 drill, Shedeur would easily outshine Dillon. She made it clear, there's no comparison between the two. Despite this, Stefanski continues to downplay Sanders' potential, which is fueling growing frustration among fans and analysts alike. As this saga unfolds, it's becoming increasingly evident that there's a deliberate effort to undermine Shedeur's talent. More and more people are starting to see through the narrative.
Shedeur Sanders has been making a ton of progress. He looks really good. I've been saying this over and over again. If you put Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel side by side or one after the other in a 7-on-7 red zone drill, I think that Shedeur would probably win that drill much of the time.
In the midst of all the drama, one thing has become clear. Jimmy Haslam is trying to rescue the Browns by keeping Shedeur Sanders both on and off the pitch. Haslam's intervention to prevent Sanders from being traded signals that he sees something special in Shedeur, and he's not ready to give up on him just yet. Whether it's his incredible accuracy, versatility, or the growth he's shown during training, Haslam believes Sanders has the potential to be the future of the team. By keeping Shedeur in the fold, Haslam is sending a clear message that he's committed to building a competitive team that values talent, potential, and long-term success. On the other hand, Stefanski's stance seems to be a growing liability for the Browns. His continued refusal to give Sanders a legitimate shot at the starting role, despite mounting evidence that he's the better option, is putting his own future in jeopardy. With a growing chorus of voices from analysts and former players like Chad Johnson and Mary Kay Cabot, it's clear that the tide is turning against Stefanski. His insistence on sticking with Dillon Gabriel while sidelining Shedeur is starting to look more like stubbornness than sound coaching. If Stefanski continues down this path, it could cost him his job. The team's success ultimately depends on its leadership, and if Haslam believes that Shedeur is the key to turning things around, Stefanski's refusal to acknowledge that could become his undoing. The pressure is mounting, and with every passing day, it becomes more clear that a pivotal decision is looming for both Stefanski and the future of the Cleveland Browns. So, what do you think? Is Jimmy Haslam making the right call by keeping Shedeur Sanders on the team, both on and off the pitch? Do you agree with Mary Kay Cabot and others who believe Sanders is clearly the better option over Dillon Gabriel? Or do you think Stefanski's decision to stick with Gabriel is the right move for the team, despite all the mounting criticism? Could Stefanski's refusal to give Shedeur a chance ultimately cost him his job? Or is there something we're missing here? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below and let's get the discussion going.